Inflation is one of two key reasons for the longshoremen strike in Charleston. Longshoremen have joined their brothers in 26 ports along the Atlantic, closing the port of Charleston. As a result of the longshoremen strike in Charleston, South Carolina Ports announced on its website that its marine terminals are currently closed and will remain so until further notice. The cost of the strike to the United States is $2 billion daily, resulting in the soon complete shutdown of the American trucking industry. Kenneth Riley, hailing from Charleston, has spent his entire 71 years in the region and currently serves as a vice president at Local 1422 of the International Longshoremen's Association. After completing his business administration studies at the College of Charleston, Riley proceeded to the docks, where he has actively supported maritime workers' strikes both in 1977 and now the current longshoremen strike in Charleston. They inflated shipping rates during the pandemic. While we were sacrificing our lives and health, these ports never went down, Riley said. Schools went down, businesses went down, everybody was home safe. We were out there working. We lost several members, East and West Coast. Some of them can never come back to work again. This week, Riley and employees of the International Longshoremen's Association in Charleston gathered on Morrison Drive going on strike, demanding a revision of the terms for their master contract with the United States Maritime Alliance. Our governor said he will fight us to the gates of hell. Well, bring it on, Governor. Riley remarked, quoting a segment from Governor Henry McMaster's State of the State speech in January. We stand on the front line for American workers and say, when you do come to the U.S., you will treat the workers fairly, Riley said. So, we take this opportunity to inform the public. We are American workers, foreign flag carriers. The labor strike, led by the union, representing approximately 45,000 dock workers, has resulted in the closure of ports across the United States, spanning from Maine to Texas. The International Longshoremen's Association is advocating for increased wages and a complete prohibition on the automation of cranes, gates, and trucks involved in the transportation of cargo at 36 U.S. ports, including Charleston. These measures also resonate, causing the longshoremen strike in Charleston. The primary focus of the longshoremen strike in Charleston, South Carolina, is the decline in workers' ability to buy goods and services due to the economic policies implemented by President Biden and their demand for a prohibition on any future automation in the industry. The Associated Press reports that approximately 50% of the country's ship cargo is managed by these ports. If there is a prolonged shutdown, it could lead to higher prices for goods nationwide and potentially result in shortages and increased prices at retailers during the holiday shopping season. The Associated Press reported that the union proposed a pay increase of 77% over the 6-year duration of the contract. President Harold Daggett stated that this raise is needed to compensate for inflation and past years of minimal salary increases. While ILA members earn a base salary of approximately $81,000 per year, some individuals can earn over $200,000 annually by working a significant amount of overtime. The longshoremen strike in Charleston is picketing for increases in those wages. Riley expressed that their objective in the protest is to raise awareness among the community and provoke contemplation regarding the reason behind the ILA being outside instead of inside the terminal. ILA engages in contract negotiations with USMX every 6 years, which extends across 2 federal administrations. Riley stressed the importance of ensuring that the list of demands remains robust and adaptable to potential changes in the economic environment. It also stated that following the break in operations, SC Ports and our maritime industry partners will marshal every resource possible to facilitate the swift recovery of business. Measures will be implemented based on terminal operating conditions and need, as well as the duration of the interruption. The port in Charleston is owned by the South Carolina Ports Authority, which is in turn owned by the state of South Carolina. However, it is worth noting that the majority of ports in the United States are actually owned by foreign entities. Chinese corporations have ownership stakes in multiple ports across the United States, including Miami, Houston, Long Beach, Los Angeles, Seattle, and New York. Out of the total 40,000 maritime vessels worldwide, 200 belong to the United States, while the remaining ships are owned by foreign entities. China has actively worked towards increasing its global port presence, which involves expanding its influence in ports worldwide, including those located in the United States. The U.S. has approximately 15 main ports, each comprised of a few independently run terminals, totaling around 100 terminals. SSA Marine is the largest terminal operator in the United States. FSR Capital, the parent company of SSA Marine, saw Mexican tycoon Fernando Chico Pardo acquire a 49% ownership stake in 2014. Foreign ownership of U.S. ports is another concern for workers, supported by the Longshoremen strike in Charleston. SC Ports president and CEO released a statement via email. In South Carolina alone, port operations generate an $87 billion economic impact each year and support more than 260,000 jobs, meaning every 1 in 9 SC jobs is tied to port operations. These jobs account for those that work on the ports every day, as well as for thousands of jobs at port-dependent businesses throughout the state. Our port system is critical to thousands of businesses throughout the Southeast and beyond. Manufacturers, automakers, retailers, grocery stores, healthcare providers, farmers, and small businesses all greatly benefit from the skilled services that we jointly provide with our maritime partners. The Longshoremen strike in Charleston has the potential to implode the SC economy, putting other workers out of business. When we move cargo in support of companies and communities, the positive benefits ripple out across our state and region. The Longshoremen strike in Charleston is an ongoing story that Myrtle Beach SC News will continue to report until the strike ends.